Hey Cool Makers! If hair and makeup are your thing, then the Cool Maker Airbrush Styling Studio is for you.
With the Cool Maker Airbrush Styling Studio, you'll learn to style just like a pro.
And even create your own looks. Let's get styling!
The Cool Maker Airbrush Styling Studio is beautiful. The hair, the face, the tools, there's so many ways to style and create. Let's take a closer look. Here's our gorgeous model. Isn't she amazing? There's a lookbook packed with inspiration. 1 pink clip-in extension, 1 purple clip-in extension, 5 makeup sticks, 2 sheets of makeup stencils, 1 sheet of eye color stickers, 24 sparkling gems, a cordless airbrush, 2 hair clips, a makeup erasing sponge, a hairbrush, 4 elastics, and 2 sheets of hair stencils. And remember to reference your lookbook for great inspiration with 4 amazing looks to try on your model. And once you've mastered those looks, create your own with the free play templates on the other side. So now you're going to need 2 AA batteries for the cordless airbrush. Insert them here. Just like that. This is a great time to go over the airbrush. It's pretty easy to learn. So here's the on-off switch. Good to know. This is the trigger that starts and stops the spray. Here's the nozzle. And back here is where you insert the makeup sticks. Now for the makeup sticks. Be sure your airbrush is set to off. Choose a color, remove the cap, and insert it here, tip first. Careful not to damage the tip when inserting into the airbrush. Push it in until you feel a click. Check to see if the airbrush nozzle is aligned to the center position. Now, hold the airbrush on an angle with the tip away from a piece of paper, about 2 finger widths away. Gently squeeze and try out the spraying. Cool, right? To make sure you are getting the best spray result, turn the airbrush nozzle left a bit, spray, then turn it right a bit, spray. This will help make sure you've got the best nozzle position for this makeup stick. But just a note, these makeup sticks only work in the airbrush. They're not meant for drawing like regular markers. Here are some super important airbrush tips before we get started. Before you airbrush anything, cover your surface to avoid a mess. When you're done with the makeup stick, remove it from the airbrush and put the cap back on so they don't dry out. Careful not to damage the tip when putting the cap back on. This could affect the quality of the spray. To get even coverage, try spraying in short bursts. But if you spray for too long, the airbrush spray might become weaker. Just pause for a second and then start to spray again. Oh, and when you're not using the airbrush, turn it off. So that's the how-tos. Now, here are the what-ifs. What if the airbrush is spraying uneven? First, make sure you've tried adjusting the nozzle to the best position for this makeup stick. If you've done this, try wiping the airbrush nozzle with a paper towel and try spraying it again. If it's still uneven, try removing the makeup stick, rotating it, and putting it back in. What if there's leftover ink on the airbrush? Wipe the tip with the paper towel. Do a test spray to check it out. What if the cap was left off the makeup stick? Just soak the tip in warm water. 2 minutes should do. And in the event spray gets on your hands, just wash them with warm, soapy water. So there you have the basics, the tips, and the what-ifs. Now, let's get to styling. Let's do some highlights. Before you start, give the hair a good brushing from root to tip. Now, you can turn on the airbrush. Select the section of hair you want to work on. The white hair works best. Spray back and forth until you get the color you're looking for. If you make a mistake, don't worry. Just rinse the hair under warm water, let dry, and start again. If you're after a softer look, brush the highlight after spraying it. Now, try a different color in a different section. You can even do ombre by alternating colors from top to bottom. Looks extra special when you braid the hair like this. It creates really awesome patterns. And if you want to shield the face or other pieces of hair, just use a piece of paper. This way you can be super precise. But there's also these wicked hair extensions that, by the way, you can wear too. You just open the clip, then clip it here at the blue hair to give your model extra long hair. When you get it in place, close the clip by bending the ends like this with both thumbs. Now for hair stencils. So just like when we applied highlights, we brush the hair from root tip. Choose your stencil, push out the shape. Use the hair clip to clip the hair in place. Stencils work best this way, not so much on loose hair. Turn on your airbrush, hold the stencil down, and spray. You'll want the stencil to stay super still to get the best shape. She's looking good. Now it's makeup time. We're talking makeup and all the awesome ways you can master your looks with your model. Let's start with the makeup stencils. They're a beautiful way to add unique designs to the face. First, choose the one you want. Remove the back sticker so that the full design is popped out. Set aside the backing so you can reuse the stencil later. Check the icon on the stencil that tells you where to airbrush the design. Careful not to mix up eyebrows and eyeshadow. Okay, so now with your stencil, press the design cutout firmly on the face. Cheeks are nice. The outside edge of the stencil doesn't need to stick down. Grab the airbrush and spray short bursts about 2 fingers away. Be careful not to spray too much. If anything sprays outside the stencil, don't worry. Dampen your makeup erasing sponge and wipe away the excess. Gently remove the stencil while being careful not to smudge your design. When you're done with the stencil, you can reuse it by placing it back on its backing and wiping it with a paper towel. And this is the exact same way you work with the eye stencils. Pretty cool. Try not to touch the makeup after you apply to avoid smudging. When you've finished your eye makeup, you'll want to add the eye stickers to make her eyes pop. And of course, don't forget the gems. They really add glamour and glitz to any look. So now it's time to learn how to care and clean for your Airbrush Styling Studio model. What makes the Airbrush Styling Studio so fun is trying out all the different hair and makeup looks. When you're ready to start a new look, follow these steps to clean your model. Gently remove eye stickers, gems, and extensions. Place stickers and gems back onto their backing. For small makeup removal, use the makeup sponge and warm water. For bigger cleanups, you can remove the model from her base like this and rinse her under warm water. You can use soap if you need, and even shampoo and conditioner on the hair. Hey, by the way, this base is a great place to store your makeup sticks and accessories. Then with a towel, dry her face and let her hair air dry. Then you can brush it smooth with the brush. All clean and ready for her next look. For more color palettes, pick up the Runway Glam or Soft and Sweet Airbrush accessory packs. The design possibilities are endless. See you next time when we learn, create, and share with the Cool Maker Airbrush Styling Studio.